This is a routine for the inner thighs, both doing a little bit of release work to wake up our adductor group and to do a little bit of release work. You're going to need one alpha ball or a bigger ball, or it could be 2 balls together. These are Therapy Plus balls together, and 1 block. Let's do an assessment first. So we're going to come onto our side. We're going to cross one leg on top. So our top leg crosses over. Bottom leg is straight. We're either propped on the elbow, supporting the head with the hand, or supporting the head with the elbow and the arm. Decide which feels best for you. We're thinking of activating our top waist a little bit. That's especially easier to do the more you're propped up. And then you're going to try to lift the leg and lower. Notice how that feels, just a couple of times. And then we're going to see what it feels like to rock back to your heel and rock forward to your toes. Rock back to the heel, rock forward to the toes. So I'm not just moving my ankle, I'm letting my knee roll up and my knee roll down. Same thing lifted, roll the toes up, roll the heel up, knee turns up as toes turn up, knee turns down as heel goes up. So I'm rolling my pelvis, my femur through internal and external rotation. Lower down, switch sides. And this is just an assessment. How easy or hard is it? How smooth or ratchety is it? Might be the same exact setup on the other side. It might be different. There might even be a difference between your crossed leg. So once again, we lift and we lower. Sometimes this also creates discomfort on the outside of the hip, so adjust position, add a blanket if you need, and even notice as you lift, does that create a big stretch on the outer hip? Once again, roll from the thigh, so my knee turns with my foot. What does that feel like? How easy or smooth? And then lifting it and doing the same thing. So again, it's not the foot doing this. This would be my ankle doing it. My knee really doesn't move. It's rolling from the hip. My foot only moves because my hip is rotating. Again, how fatiguing, how tiring, how smooth or ratchety, and then let that go. 1 block and your choice of ball. I tend to like to keep the block at its low setting. It can be vertical or it can be horizontal. You might have to adjust and play around. And we're going to focus on the upper half of the inner thigh here. So thinking that if the thigh were divided in half, staying on that upper half, staying closer to the pelvis. There's a lot of tendons in here. There's a lot of muscle in here as well. So just check it out. So we're going to come up, we're going to drive or kind of roll over the ball. You can be propped on elbows. You can be lowering down with head stacked. And first just explore this area. You might right away find some really tender spots or be really sensitive. You adjust the pressure. When you find a spot that feels like a spot that needs a little bit more attention, a little bit more kind of love, rest there. And we're going to do contract, relax. So we're going to drive the knee and the foot towards the ground. Feel that activation in the ball. It's not going to be comfortable. Relax. Let the ball soften and snuggle into this tissue. Breathe. Contract. Driving knee and foot down. And relax. Try that a couple of times. Snuggling the ball in a little bit more each time. Sometimes it's really hard for these muscles to let go, especially if it's sensitive. You can move to a new spot, or if you feel like you still need a little bit more, see what it feels like to lift the foot and lower the foot. This is another variation of rotating the femur. Seeing how that feels. And you can also move the knee or the whole thigh up and down, going in a cross fiber direction. And I have a big speed bump here, so then I'm going to find a second spot. I've found mine. And it doesn't always have to be very far away. Sometimes it's pretty close. Same thing, contract, relax. Really try to isolate the inner thigh here. So I'm not using my hands. I'm not trying to roll from my torso. I'm really just trying to roll from my inner thigh. Mapping our body a little bit more in detail. Once you've done 3 contract, relax, if you feel okay to stay, lift and lower the foot. And see how it feels to cross fiber massage this area. Again, I found another spot more posterior, so we're finding 3 spots. Prop yourself as you need to. I kind of feel like I want a little bit more pressure here. Again, contract and relax. Contract and relax. And then add this lift. This is internal rotation. This is a little bit of activation as well. A little bit of control down. And then that cross fiber. Hello, inner thigh. Again, you can be here for much longer. This is an area that's really big. You can explore this a lot, but it's also pretty sensitive, so we'll just be on it rather quick, and then we'll switch sides. The tight spot might be in a similar spot. It might be in a very different spot. Ball goes on the block. Kind of mount and come up and over. First, explore. I call this the introductory period, so be nice. Give your cordial hello. Again, introducing the ball to your inner thigh, a place that is highly innervated, quite strong, quite tight. Often a place that we kind of neglect a little bit. When you find a place that feels like it needs a little bit more love and attention, pause. Contract, drive knee and foot down. This is adduction. Relax, contract, relax. Take time to relax. Let that ball snuggle in. Sometimes it's really hard for this group to relax. Contract and relax 3 times, and then see how it feels to do a little bit further activation by internally rotating. Check in with how that feels, how smooth or ratchety this is. And then try to do a little cross friction. Ooh-wee. I am strumming a big guitar string right here. So when you find I have a big speed bump here, I'm not twanging over it. You might be able to see if I do twang over. I don't even want to. It's a little too tender. So I'm just getting onto that speed bump and then I'm backing off. I'm getting onto the speed bump and I'm backing off. It can sometimes be really uncomfortable to twang over these areas. But now that I know that that speed bump is there, I'm going to find it. I'm going to get right onto the edge and I'm going to do this again. Contract and relax. And again, because there's a big speed bump here, this area is going to be really hard to relax. So I sometimes do a little bit of rocking, really gentle contract and relax. I'm not contracting as hard as I can. I'm giving maybe 30% effort, maybe 40%. Relax. 3 times doing that contract, relax. 3 times internally rotating. Whew. Getting a little bit more personal with these questions, right? As we kind of explore a little bit deeper, less cordial hellos and more getting into the grit of it. And then again, if a cross fiber feels good, I'm going to again move pretty slow. I'm just about on the edge of really twanging over that. Breathe. And then a 3rd spot. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I have a money spot. Maybe you do too. Again, we'll pause, we'll contract and relax. We're again aware of our shoulders, we're aware of our neck and the rest of our body. We're breathing, contracting and relaxing, taking time and effort to contract, taking time and effort to relax. Once we've done that 3 times, we'll lift and lower the foot about 3 times, and then we'll do a little bit more cross fiber. And again, this doesn't have to be a big move. I'm really on this. So my cross fiber is very small. If I was making it bigger, I'd be twanging back and forth and it would be really uncomfortable. Again, relax off of that. You could be here for a lot longer, but sometimes this can make us a little bit sore and sensitive. And then from here, we're just going to recheck. So again, you can be propped on your elbow. You can be just propping up your head, or you can be resting all the way down. It might be the same as you started. It might be different. We're first going to start with a lift and lower. Hopefully you feel as much gain as I do. Much easier to lift that leg. You're then going to rock to toes, rock to heel, making sure the knee goes along for the ride. Rotating the femur, feeling if it's smoother, if it's easier, and then lifting and adding the same rotation. Is it any easier? And then this time for a little extra stay neutral, see if you can just lift a little higher and hold just a little bit more. Can you still breathe? And can you maybe activate a little bit more through your top side waist? Let's see how that helps. And then relax. Good work. Other side. Checking in. We'll see if it's the same. If we get benefits on both sides, we might get benefit just on one side. We can learn about our body here. Support yourself as you need to here with your top hand, I should say. Lift and lower. Again, much easier for me. You might even see that it's going higher. Hopefully you feel the same. Then again, you'll lower, add your rotation. How smooth, how big is that? Checking in with our lift with rotation, making sure and feeling that this comes from the hip. And then seeing if we can lift just a little bit higher. Can we maybe add the top waist a little bit more and see how that can assist the leg lifting, whole body. Relax the neck, the head is supported, and let it go. Good work. Little inner thigh activation. You can pair this with the outer hip activation, then try a bridge together, co-contracting, and see how that feels. Really get those powerful outer hips and inner thighs working together.